Hello, and welcome to another of my videos. This time, we'll go through the highly complicated subject of buy-to-let mortgages. A buy-to-let purchase is usually a commercial venture to make money from buying a property and letting it out. This will be under what is known as an assured short-hold tenancy. But this is just one part of the subject. There are other areas like let-to-buy, HMOs, student lets, multi-use properties, and holiday homes. I'll discuss these in other videos, so please keep an eye out in the future. Okay, so back to buy-to-let. Being a commercial venture, it's best to say that the mortgage advisor should be just one part of an advice team. You'll also need to speak to an accountant, a solicitor, a lettings agent, and a financial advisor. Each can give important advice and help. There are a lot of considerations with a buy-to-let, including legal obligations, stamp duty implications, and tax liabilities. Many people also look at them as financial investments, although the risks can be high and there are possibly other ways to invest according to your circumstances. So, a buy-to-let mortgage is basically similar to a residential mortgage, but could be considered more as a semi-commercial mortgage available to the general public. Lenders will have special rates and criteria for buy-to-let mortgages, and often there will be specialist lenders that you won't even have heard of. Currently, most lenders will like you to have a 25% deposit or more. There are one or two lenders that will be okay with less, but you may find these rates are currently particularly high. The way that lenders calculate how they will lend to you varies a lot. They all start with the potential rental income. Lenders use a nominal rate, which is usually higher than the rate you'll actually be paying, and then multiply it up in order to work out how much the required rental income should be compared to the nominal rate. Here's an example. Let's say you find a property at $200,000 and want to borrow $150,000. The lender puts their nominal rate of 5% on this, which is $7,500 or £625 per month. They then put their calculation of 145% onto it, meaning that the property would need to achieve a minimum of £906.25 in rental income per month. Lenders often change the calculations based on your tax status, and or if you want to take a 5-year fixed rate or more. They'll also change this calculation if you set up a limited company to buy the property. So now you can see why you need to take plenty of advice from experts. But with different lender calculations, the required rental income could be reduced to £703.12 per month. And if the calculations don't work, there are still some options. Some lenders do what's known as top slicing. This is where they use your personal income to help increase the amount that they will lend. Naturally, they'll need to analyse your incomings and outgoings to see if this is possible. Talking of income, while some lenders do not require your income figures, others do set a minimum income. This is to make sure that in the case of rental voids, when the property might be empty, there is still income to be able to support the mortgage. Payment methods. Lenders will give you a choice. They may allow the payment method of interest only. If the property is going to be a pure investment or short-term investment, then it can often be a good idea to take it as interest only. This can be good from an income point of view, but not so good from a total amount payable over the whole term, due to the interest costs. If the property is a longer-term property, then some people take the payment method as repayment. This makes the monthly repayment higher and reduces the net monthly income, but it does mean that the rental income and capital profit can be higher in the future. And there are some lenders that will allow you to take the mortgage on a part and part basis. And also, many lenders will allow you to make some form of overpayment during the fixed period, even on an interest-only model. Term. Again, as buy-to-let properties reliant upon rental incomes, lenders can be more flexible about the length of mortgage you take, and may often allow you to take the mortgage past your 80th birthday. Things lenders don't like. First-time buyers. Years ago, there was a loophole that some less honest people would use to enable themselves to buy a property to live in. In order to make sure they were not involved in what amounts to fraud, most lenders have withdrawn from buy-to-let lending for first-time buyers. There are still a few that do. However, they assess the application thoroughly using both income and rental income as a guide. Non-residential homeowners. Similar to first-time buyers, although there are quite a few lenders that now understand people's varied and different situations, such as in-between properties, expats, military housing, and tied houses. Ropey properties. As the property is reliant upon rental income, lenders will want the property to be rentable straight away. Often a buyer will find a property that needs renovating or updating and will want to buy it to let it out. There are ways around this, but it often means the use of short-term funding before switching it to a buy-to-let. Overexposure. Previous property crashes had led to some lenders losing a lot of money that they've lent on high proportion of properties in a certain area of development. Most lenders now like to limit what is known as their exposure, in other words, how many properties in the locality that they've lent on. It's often difficult to gauge until the application goes in and the lender flags this up. Letting to family members. The majority of buy-to-let lending is not currently regulated by the Financial Conduct Authority. The only exception to this is family members. This gives the relative rights over the property that makes things difficult for lenders if things go wrong, so nearly all lenders steer clear of it. There are still some lenders that will consider this, but they will often apply strict rules to the application. Airbnb. This is a new style of property rental and has more similarities to a holiday let. The jury is still out as to how this will work in the long term, and most lenders are being very cautious. Portfolio landlords. Once you get a taste for buy-to-lets, you may want more and more and more. It could be a great way of creating income and spreading risk, but once you have more than 3 or 4 investment properties, depending on the lenders have to apply more due diligence to make sure that the lending is viable. Not only will they assess the property that you're buying, they'll also assess your current portfolio to make sure that it fits their lending rules. This includes total loan to values, mortgage payments, and income. They may also want to see your business plan and mitigation costs. So there you have it. A buy-to-let property is not for everyone, and the unexpected could always happen. But with the right planning, the right property, and the right lender, they can be a sound investment, both short and long term. Thanks very much for watching, and I hope you found it useful. Please feel free to make any comments below, and if you'd like to see more, please subscribe. And if I can be of any help in any way possible, please visit my website and contact me, and I'll be delighted to help.